Why, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin Phoenix, and today we're gonna continue of some more of the Great Ace Attorney adventures. I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that. I wish we managed to find some clue as to what that speckled man might be. We didn't manage to investigate at all. And I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door. He's clearly glaring at us as if to say, don't even think about it. Oh, wait a minute. What is it? Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go? Oh yes, he completely disappeared. When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrist. Let's just go back to the cabin, I guess. It looks like they're still investigating in here. Yes, on that subject, I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga has unscathed. What do you mean unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, haven't you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he laid his life on the line for you. Oh, yes. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. Oh, wow. Oh, you're back. Inspector! What happened to you? Your face is... Please, don't worry about it. They're just scratches. Made by a bear, maybe? When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'll pummel me with his fist and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in the flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. It looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. Well, thanks for your efforts. We now know a little more about the neighboring cavern. Yes, so I understand. Oh? I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes. I don't think he was German though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. What? Nikolina Pavlovia? She's in the next cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know a graceful angel? Oops, I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us our neighboring cavern is unrelated to the case at least. Oh? How? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops, now I'm definitely upset him. Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So I'm just keeping watch here. Try not to take my eyes off the job. Oh, I see. Ah, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh? What? Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please. What is the new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Buria's medical officer finished examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh, Kazuma's post-mortem report? Kazuma-sama. So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cerebral vertebrae is what written in the report. His neck was broken? Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury, so at first, I think they were considered poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet, but the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object, something that wouldn't leave a mark. Oh, I see. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck will induce death. It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left. For Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might just be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it's fine. I trust you. After all, if I didn't trust you, I never have agreed to you leaving the cabin in the first place, would I? Ah! Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, was he? Yes. He seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he kept on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he had become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now that you mention it, yes. Just one thing, but he practically shouted. "It's shoe polish!" was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. It was when he was over there, by the piece of broken glass. Do you see? Ah, perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark, do you think? Yes, that must be it. But how can Mr. Sholmes know it was shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is this, Usato-san? Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue. Dark tan? Sort of dark brownish red then? Yes. I don't like the color of red wine, but darker. I have to repair them for him. Oh! Does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they snuffed to the floor? That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewsmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. Poor Inspector. You look exhausted. Oh, no. Well, I feel terrible that I failed to protect Asogi-san. He was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy lead ever since I woke this morning. A heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too. Well, I guess we might as well just go to the passageway, I guess. Ah! Look, Naruhodo-san! Seaman Stroganoff has gone. Strong enough? The beery Russian sailor who's always crushing his arms and glaring at us. Ugh, all these Russian names are impossible to remember. La la la. Did you hear that? It sounded like someone singing. La 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 lee lee lay. I did it for the great detective way. This caroling! I know that lark-like voice. Well, never mind that. Now it's a golden opportunity for us. Yes, you're right. We must cease it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlovia's cabin while we can investigate. Definitely, before that stringy knot cruiseman comes back. It's strong enough, not stringy enough. Oh, hello there. Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look! Wow, you never know where he's going to turn up next, do you? He seems to be stealing a look at something that he sings to himself. Tra-la-la-lee-lee-lay. I did it for the great detective way. He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us? Or he simply has extremely high spirits? Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bits up more than it could chew. And through it all, when there is doubt, it's lucky her luck was about. Excuse me. I solved it all and I stood tall. I did it the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes! Ah! What is it? You want to fight? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, it was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now is a good time, as good as time as any. I very nearly dropped you on the floor with one of my favorite hooks. Alright, I get the picture. Now could you put those fists away? Mr. Sholmes, you seem to be examining something before we interrupted you. Oh, yes, that... I was immersed in study of the ship's log, as pen as a stockly built cruiseman who's usually on guard here. Oh yes, the ship's log. And did you find out anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report? Nothing of note happened, so... You truly are a student of the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem that St. Cruiseman stands sentry as this first-class passway, and he has almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes? Nothing to report? Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there was just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report. Do you mean... Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night, which led to the seaman being exiled from his post. What kind of circumstances? What happened? That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it causes seamen to forget a regular habit of scribbling nothing reported in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship log in your mental file. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes Sholmes. Brilliance. Oh, ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourselves. I seem to be affiliated with my throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more. Well, my friends, until our next encounter. He's still singing to himself. I can hear as he wanders off down the passageway. Is something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought. It's just... well, I feel the same. Sorry? Ever since I woke this morning, I had something of a headache. Sort of continuous throbbing. Oh, you too? Well, let's go to the cabin of Miss Pavlovia. Miss Pavlovia isn't back yet. Susato-san. Oh, where's she gone? Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things. There's not a moment to wait, Naruhodo-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. I suppose you're right, for Kazuma's sake. Not just for Kazuma-sama. What do you mean? It can't be long now until we arrive at Point, in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there. Really? We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san. By ourselves if we have to. Yes, we will. Oh my! Miss Pavlovia's case is open! It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there. Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret. Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the excess Bruya. I wonder what kind of animal she had to put in there. More to the point, where is it now? Naruhodo-san, are you there? Sorry, I'm right here. Yes, why? Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home. Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know. Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes. I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlovia's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. The ventilator connects to Kazuma's cabin next door. Yes, although what a foolish shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room. Ah, maybe. It's so that there's a gas leak next door. The occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm. Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning. That is a possibility. Anyway, last night, Kazuma wrote this as he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. There's one of these next to the bed of Kazuma's cabin too. Yes, it's a bell cord. You can't resist. She barely hesitated there, and she gave it a good tug too. No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come. We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret. Okay. I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor. Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately. Do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here? What? A leak? Is this ship quite safe? I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink. No, you're right. Of course you're right. She's really trying to persuade herself, is she? It would seem this teapot is empty. So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are very thirsty people. Or because Miss Pavlovia only came into this cabin last night, she hadn't had a chance to make any tea yet? I mean, it could be either. It's definitely not that it's excessively thirsty. I'll lay 1,000 on one on it. You're rather obsidian, aren't you, Naruhodo-san? There are just a few books on the desk. Nothing else by the looks of it. Well, Miss Pavlovia only ran away from the ballet last night. She hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all. It's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read. Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlovia enjoys reading. Books written in Russian. Thanks, I think I probably already knew that. It's rude to ask so nice of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that. All those books have toppled over together. Look, every single one. Do you think that's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though. It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door, in Kazuma's cabin. Perhaps. Perhaps Miss Pavlovia was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase? I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company? Alright then. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage? Not everything bad has happened on the show is because of me, you know. Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Ah! What's that?
Shut down the engines immediately! Vessel sighting a quarter-mile force! Full stop! Hard board! All hands! Brace for impact! What the?
I think we're about to crash onto another ship.
What?
I can't stand! Sato-san, hold on to me!
Ah! Susato-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all?
I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san.
It looks like we avoided a collision.
I think...
Yes, the ship has come to a stop.
Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine. Hello? Is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance!
Oh, that sounds like... Inspector Hosonaga. Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san?
Unbolt the door! Quickly!
What? The bolt? Look at that!
The door is bolted.
Did you do that, Susato-san? No, I didn't touch it.
Well, that's strange.
And
look at all the books. They're just like they were before again.
Naruhodo-san, are you going to open the door and let the inspector in?
I'd better tidy this place up first. Our violent emergency stop has solved one mystery at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Wow, this part is incredibly short. Alright, we'll keep going. Yes, this part was really short. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath and gently slid back the bolt. You! What are you doing at Miss Pavlovia's quarters?
Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine. Thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship.
Yes, it appears to have been a false report though.
Oh, how did that happen?
There's a dense fog outside and extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. The person obviously triggered the alarm and that's why we made an emergency stop.
Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crews are running everywhere.
This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment.
Oh, I see.
Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside?
Ah! You wicked intruder! Dressed in all the black, you are the devil!
Sorry? Me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is the first.
You opened my traveling case! How could you?
What? No, we didn't touch it.
That's right, Miss Pavlovia. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector!
Yes?
Arrest this man! I know he did it! He is a criminal! Is it not enough that he killed a man?
Da! He is a stowaway as well! A victim promised not to steal chilled chicken, did you believe?
Ugh!
Take him away! He is a trespasser as well as everything else!
Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right. You are a devil!
It doesn't look good, does it?
There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police.
Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do?
This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options.
This is terrible.
This is a real crisis. I gotta find a solution. Immediately! Oh boy. What the hell? What the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes? Why does he have a tiara? Naturally, I was analyzing what the weight of 20,000 rubles felt like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. No. Well, why are you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious to probably assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally? I want to determine that it would bend that close-sided looking hook on the wall full of brag and bounce. I'll never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Ah, you again, the great detective. Oh, Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report for you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time.
What is the report? Speak!
An urgent report from the great detective can mean but one thing. Yes, the case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Berea, has been solved. By me, naturally.
What? Really?
Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanation exists. So, allow me to illuminate all of your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's great introduction to the case.
Ha! You have solved it? Even hedgehogs understand this case. We all know who was responsible for killing Student Boy this morning when we found Creamy in wardrobe. This is the stowaway, and he stands handcuffed to prove it. I didn't do it!
The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must have been someone who was inside the cabin.
Yes, it's what's called the locked room mystery in detective stories.
Da! Locked room! That is point!
That room was locked.
Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all.
What?
Oh yes, there's another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it grabs open mouth of yours even as we speak. The ventilator, man. The ventilator? Ha 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 ha!
You think this is funny? I can't even put my arm through that hole.
That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? That's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the worst Kazuma-sama part in this diary? 1:23 AM, I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 AM, what looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill? Precisely, my dear madame. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Mr. Sholmes? What are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not. I am ready. What I'm about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold!
Yeah! Ah! What the?
Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the Speckled Band. A snake? Indubitably. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I think in this case you have to call it the stripe band, wouldn't you? You both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Ms. Paulovia? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Ah! And number two, the same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No! She turned as white as a bowl of rice again, a bowl of rice. Sholmes must be right. He hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asogi? Oh, he can't speak. It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise my little movement as possible. Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh yeah, here we go. Great deduction. Miss Paulovia, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. His whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole the victim's cabin of that penseless night? Why, naturally, it was that friend in which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is that withered serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in quandary. The victim brings their observations in the ninth question tell of a speckled band. Words regrettably. The specimen's markings do not fit the description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No! Don't look at me! This has nothing to do with any of this!
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to that question even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying, but failing to conceal, that could be the snake's thorough skin. Evidently, after the total with her horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed his original skin. No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last night, though the ventilator visible in this cabin, you and Speckled's friends lived next door. Using the bell cord on the other side of the bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to have the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime is the rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it shows the skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. So beloved speckled snake, how Mr. Asogi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his knife, and why? According to the data which I have despised, it would appear there are no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by this terrible venom. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm that it was the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be?
Yes, the examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite, impenetrable puncture wounds left in the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the best size of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There is no point feigning innocence, Miss Pavlovia. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links it to the victim's death to that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case was moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt.
You don't...
It is telling that the victim made note of the lowing whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend.
To train?
Indeed, you put the serpent through the ventilator and wait, after the period, you summon it back with the whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you released the snake once more. Do you deny the snake has undergo such training?
It's not true.
Having slithered to the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs once more. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt, my logic is infallible. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Miss Pavlovia had trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor, you observe the salts through milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible! You solved the mystery! Amazing! Your great deduction really lives up to his name. I can see why Sherlock Holmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. Can I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? But of course, what's on your mind? It's just, by your deductions before, some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as in my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are leg-eating creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, ma'am. And reptiles, don't drink milk. Ah. It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as an award. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlovia used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. Yes, I'm not sure it could really be possible to signal the snake by whistling. But ma'am, what are the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of snakes that dance to the sound of the flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears? These creatures are impotent and personally useless! Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. There is one other thing. You have more? Snakes use the scales of their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb out a fat bell cord like the ones in these cabins. Then I should try harder. Please, don't be so angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is... Even if the snake has gone through the ventilator in the next door cabin, it could have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there is a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have been a part of this. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh no, you don't mean... Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, give it a try. Just what was I waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down on the wrist again. What? You've done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not. I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction time. Miss Paulovia, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. She does have a pain expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma Sama's death was weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Stromberg read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression? Let's take a moment and really look closely at Miss Paulovia.
Yes!
Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your claws scratch marks with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the womb is fresh. Miss Paulovia, did you in effect receive that scratch sometime last night? Ah! When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this womb is worse. And it is that very pain that evidenced your execrable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what is the nature of this intruder that stole the victim's cabin of the prosperous night? Why, naturally, it was that friend in which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the withering serpent we see before us. It seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Paulovia's hand was made by this friend of hers, does it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet to which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? We should follow her glance, Narahoro-san. That's where we find the answer. This must be something Miss Paulovia thought of her when he ran away. She's exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true. But personally, that little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe I better take a closer look at this. Look at that little cat Miss Paulovia is cuddling here. Oh, what a cute little kitten! I could wow with you, couldn't it, Narahoro-san? For the blackest outfit. A black kitten. And from the looks of this picture at least, Miss Paulovia seems very attached to it.
Yes!
Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of the hand makes that abundantly clear. Oh no! The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Ah! Tarka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind. Tarka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, the fact leaves us with the quantary. The victim's written observation of the night the question tells of a speckled man, where regrettably, the specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No! Don't look at me! This has nothing to do with any of this! Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this question even now hidden behind your back.
Yes, that which you are trying, but failing to conceal that it can only be the snake's rough skin. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. If she just left it in her pocket, no one would ever have known. But yes, toys like that are Mr. Soul's specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was his specialty, or maybe making me believe that it was a ploy too. Anyway, I find it hard to believe that this is the skin of a snake. In which case, just what if Miss Pavlovia hiding behind the back? Well, it is speckled, and it's a band, but what is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy, one piece of cloth of some sort, and it looks like the handle on one hand. I think this may be a cat's toy. That's sort of common in the West, apparently. How's that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw on it. Kittens are particularly loved with that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them and they pounce to catch it. This is positively adorable.
Yes!
Yes, the thing you are trying but failing to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. Ah! And it was this toy that would dangle around the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume? Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, you're gonna be the only one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared to the ventilator to the neighboring cavern, Miss Pavlovia attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. Ah. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlovia's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a merciless Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. A truly troublesome feeling on Darka is proven to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlovia. It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up to the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she was so naughty. There we go. And now we go to the death. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his knife, and why? According to the data under which I have applied, alright, it would appear there are no visible signs of injury. Ah. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the terrible venom. What Mr. Sholmes says is true. There are no signs of a wound anywhere because of Miss Alma's body. That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of very one important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him an information he's missing now.
Yes!
In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah, yes, I knew it was one or the other. His neck was... Indeed, the breaking of the cerebral vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath will be strong enough to survive that. Seeming strong enough isn't some immortal freak, you know. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be...
Yes, the examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something. Or someone.
Yes, that's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found, though.
Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and dealt him a fatal blow.
I suppose. It's possible that he fell and hit the ground awkwardly? It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident.
Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it.
It's rather hard to believe that Kazuma-sama, though. He wasn't a clumsy man.
Well, we need to fix the deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that can explain what happened?
Yes!
Yes! The examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is the depots of shoe polish.
Shoe polish?
Indeed, possibly identifying the little analysis device I constructed, which is what I carried out a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results, and undeniable ingredients of shoe polish.
And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asogi's laced leather shoes.
Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped.
Please, no.
And, by the dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell on the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life.
No! I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Is that really true, Miss Pavlovia? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life?
Yes, the fact is clear as day to me.
You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you and the victim's death is that traveling case.
I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama really tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true, I refuse to accept it.
I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest what happened.
But...
And if this part of Mr. Schultz's deduction is right, Miss Pavlovia is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she had cast her eyes.
Where, I wonder?
Let's have a look around. The answer must be here somewhere.
This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps all the first-class cabins have them.
Well, Miss Pavlovia started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet.
Oh, what's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it feels like I've seen it somewhere before.
It looks familiar. Perhaps it's more than your mind's being simply playing tricks on you.
Yes!
That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death is that waste paper basket.
Ah!
Here's where we have the fragment of some intrinsically cast object, it would seem, one that has a familiar air effect. Precisely. We found another piece of broken glass on the floor of Mr. Asogi's cabin. And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly.
Oh no!
So, Miss Pavlovia, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that this part of the glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in a waste paper basket in your cabin? You're well acquainted with this glass spell, are you not?
I don't...
I don't know. And that hush Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question.
What?
Take it away, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Paulovia and the little glass bell, that would be...
Yes!
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, the very glass bell in question. The truth has caught up with you, Miss Paulovia. The young man who lost his life last night did so after the truly insuperious ball. And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline fan Darka.
I couldn't tell anyone. Sorry.
Alright. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Paulovia? Tell us exactly what happened last night.
It was little after 1 in the morning. It was so late, but I hadn't had time to feed Darka, so I gave her some food. And then, all of a sudden, she scratched me and jumped out of my hands.
People do say that cats become very anxious and nervous in new environments.
She was so fast, she disappeared through the ventilator before I could stop her.
And that is how you acquainted the rather nasty wound on the back of your hand, I take it?
Yes. And I had read the rules on the wall. I knew that I was not allowed Darka with me.
Yes, modern science suggests that animals can carry infectious diseases. It's a precaution, really.
So I listened and listened, trying to hear if there was some noise in the next cabin. It was very quiet. I was sure if someone was there, he must be sleeping.
So at that point, you thought it safe to try to lure the kitten back again? By dangling the end of the toy through the ventilator and into the joint cabin?
Darka always loved this toy, but it didn't work. Nothing worked. I tried using her favorite toy. I tried whistling to her softly, but nothing. She didn't return.
With a faint whistling sound Kazuma wrote about this Saturday was Miss Paulovia trying to retrieve her pet. Cats have the possibility to remain hidden in the shadows when frightened.
Yes, so there was nothing else I could do. I just had to wait until she had calmed down. But then... I nearly passed out with shock. I heard her cry out and then... Oh, it was such a dreadful bang. And afterwards, nothing. It was totally silent.
Kazuma was... From the appearance of the brown mark on the floor, it seems likely that what you heard was the victim stepping on the glass bell and tripped up. The SS Bruya is a large vessel, but even she can pitch and roll violently without warning. If Mr. Sogi was already off balance by the result of the ship lurching when the big kitten got under his feet, a combination of unfortunate factors could have easily have caused him to fall over. But what became of the kitten afterwards?
In the end, I managed to get her to come back through the ventilator.
Yet Darka is nowhere to be seen.
Must have forgotten to lock my case. And now she disappeared again. Gracious, that cat isn't insufferably restless as I am. Well, he knows something about himself at least. When I woke this morning, I heard that young man in the cabin next to mine had died. But I couldn't bring myself to tell anyone what had happened. I was too scared. Scared that they would send me back. Oh, hold on a minute. What about the snake? You're right, where is it? If the snake isn't your friend, Miss Paulova, then whose is it and where did it come from? What on earth is such a dangerous creature doing on board a ship? Oh, I didn't say? Snake is my friend. His name is Pichosico. What? What? That snake belongs to you? He escaped from cage when the emergency alarm sounded. I was looking for him. I did not expect to find him in here. Yes, how did the snake get into his cabin? But animals are not permitted on board. Ha! We are asylum for 1 year. You want to belong without close friend, without someone who understands? Couldn't you find someone a little more human who understands you better? But my dear burly fellow, a garnishment venison snake? Surely you must appreciate the danger you are putting everyone in. No vetum. Pichosico does not have venom. He is harmless, very long, but very gentle. He is a tornado, like Granny. It's venomless? Yes. Now he is hungry, so he's in bad mood. But once I feed him, you will see a big smile. And you feed him what? Milk, I suppose? Ha! Like they say in like milk chickens, ridiculous. Snake, they drink milk and are only stupid stories. Pinchoncho eats mouses. A big fat round mouses. Oh, so is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for? Of course. How else could I catch my friend's favorite food? Nothing says top to the food chain like the looks of their eyes right now. Ugh. It refused to drink milk. It can hear a whistle. It can't climb up the bell cord, and it's not even venomous. How did it does this? Something so epic! In the starting role, I like the fact he just collapsed like that.
It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Pichosico has nothing to do with this incident.
So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. Miss Palovia, I understand the difficult situation you find yourself in, and I do sympathize. Please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then, no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. But, what are you talking about, Miss Mikotoba? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. It was just a series of unfortunate events. An accident. I'm not a great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift from knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlovia's story. I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. I confess, I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh? I am only present here in a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruhodo, are simply a distraction.
A distraction?
I do hope you're not being finding your shackles too uncomfortable.
Not again. Why did he do that?
Especially when there are any risks at the moment of my intervention. I was rather hoping I would resolve matters before we made our next port call.
You were Mr. Schultz?
Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not? Yes. Kazuma was my close friend. I owed my freedom even. In that case, we must follow this to the conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is a discrepancy in Miss Pavlovia's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. How that scene in your cabin really came to be. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent.
Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo.
So then, shall we begin?
Yes.
Where do we ponder first? Is the victim who lost his life in the cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was it truly an unfortunate accident, or was it in fact no accident at all? This is what we established in the first instance.
But we already established it, haven't we?
The man tripped over the kid and then I climbed into this cabin beyond the ventilator.
Tragic, yes, but still an accident.
Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, doesn't it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and the Miss Pavlovia story here. The evidence is right there in Kazuma's cabin. It's undeniable. His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. Really? Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Try to present the evidence. The evidence that proved uncritically that the victim's death was no mere accident.
Yes!
Damage to a cerebral vertebra resulting in instant death. Instant death.
Oh,
Which means, after the victim fell on the floor, he couldn't possibly have written anything, because he was already dead. That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Sogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there, and what Miss Pavlovia told us was true. What? So Susato-san had noticed it too, then. Putting this mention on the forest side, there's something else that gives the truth away. Another piece of evidence that proves that it was no mere accident. In other words, This piece of broken glass next to the mark of the floor. That's the glass bell that Kin has around its neck. We already know all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. But we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where the hell follow that logic? Unfortunately, that is a very big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? If that's really what happened, then how did one half of the bell end up back here in the cabin? Ah. Yes, remember that we found the other half in that glass bell in that waste paper basket. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlovia? Oh no. Both pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. And when Mr. Asogi died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room. That same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth, in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Yeah. Yes, there was someone else present at Mr. Asogi's. You are wasting time.
Someone else was there? Dah, of course we know this.
What are you talking about?
Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out.
Oh, yes. And only one person in the cabin was young and died was you.
Yes!
It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian, there's no way I could have left this message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message to be precise about the details. Would you mind? Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote this word wardrobe in Russian on the floor in the attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been sleeping in there the whole time. And then the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen on the floor, the fear becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Asogi really died. But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell away? Maybe Hat Behind was going to raise some questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. A single small lamp suspended in the ceiling would barely have cast any light on the floor there. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of a tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? Seaman Stroganoff?
Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and went away to join ballet company. But before, she was dancer of the ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal. Also, that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there at the cabin. But that is not possible. I give my tooth.
Well, this is most interesting. And why would you keep your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure?
You are a great detective, you should know. Look through the night. Cabin bulkhead was struck shut from behind. Nobody could go to cabin. Not Nina, not anyone else. Or do you want me to tell the killer can walk through locked doors? Yet, it's impossible.
Ugh, he's right.
But wait, I read about this in detective stories. People often tie threads around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. Thread? Are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors.
Certainly not. These are watertight doors as one would expect to find in any modern steamship. Constructed in heavy metal, not a grasp inside, no threads or needles or magnets can be used. No, of course not. Thought so too. Mr. Naruhodo suggested earlier so. Susato-san, how can you shit onto me like that? So Seaman Strongnov has a valid point. The cabin door could have been bolted inside from the outside. Not necessarily.
What?
I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind haven't been used before. I don't believe it. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? A way to shut this bolt of the cabin door from the outside. One way does spring in mind, yes. Do you really know what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, and so should you, because we've seen it happen. Indeed we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruhodo? Point out the telling signs of the method that is used to slide the cabin door bolt across the outside.
Yes!
Look at the bookcases there. See how all the books and things have been toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It is a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that are fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe... Yes, that's what's known as the force of inertia. It's acting on the objects. Is there nothing Susato-san doesn't know? Or isn't in her book at least? Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed down those books in the bookcase also had made something else in the cabin move. The bolt of the cabin door. Ah! It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We have come to the cabin not long before and we haven't bolted the door. But then... Hello? Is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... Inspector Hosonaga. Oh yes! That's it! When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. Yes, it's made of metal, so it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. For the force of Incepta, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asogi was killed, the SS Brewer made another emergency stop? When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It's almost as if someone had run their hands across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Oh yes, I remember that! And I stood them all up again, didn't I? And when we came to this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asogi's cabin. Oh my! Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Polovia? Are you out of your mind? You said Brunya made an emergency stop? It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it is simple enough. Are you forgetting the button on the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm? Oh, yes, of course. There was a notice, was there? Telling you only to press the button in times of emergency. On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of the lookout alone. Hence the placement of the number of buttons around the vessel can allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Wait, it was you? When the button was pressed, two things happened in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today. Mr. Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed, whatever the occasion. He sounds almost proud of himself.
How dare you mess with ship? I reported to Captain. You are in much trouble now.
Now, I'm sure all that can wait till later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learned an invaluable lesson. When the vessel made an emergency stop, the bolts of the cabin door slid and closed. So, what we must not consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Sogi. Did the ship make an emergency stop or did it not?
You are idiot. Rugy's large ship with many passengers. If we make an emergency stop even in the middle of the night, there would be chaos everywhere.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruto? Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence, Mr. Naruto? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence prompts the theory that some emergency grabbed this vessel last night?
Yes!
Seaman Strongnough. It's your duty to patrol the first class area of the ship, is it right?
Nah, that is correct. Why?
And this ship log here, this would be where you record the details of your duties?
What are you doing with that? That is mine!
Oh, you rather carelessly left it on top of the little makeshift bureau in the passage out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it and brought it care with a mind to return it to you later.
I left it on purpose. That is where I put it always.
The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances you write the phrase nothing to report every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing recorded in the log?
That is... because nothing happened.
But if nothing happened, you would normally write nothing to report, wouldn't you? Indeed so. Which tells us that shortly after 2 p.m., something happened. Kira brought the SS Bruya. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting the ship really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
Stop talking rubbish!
If I'm perfectly honest, I find it a little hard to believe myself. Oh? Why? Well, because if someone as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine that anyone would sleep through that even if it happened in the dead of night. Well, no, that's a good point. What of the throbbing? Sorry? What do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Ah! Oh, yes. I have had a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Nor have I! My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been affected, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. Since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe and had these handcuffs on me at that point. Why didn't I wake up when all of that happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Naruto. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Well, yes, sorry. Stowaway class accumulation doesn't usually include meals. What do you survive on? Well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So you enjoyed some of the whole roast chicken dish that had been served yesterday evening, I take it? Yes, in fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right. He didn't touch it. Is that relevant? My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh! Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? I do. No. Really? Is that really true? The meal prep from the passenger's lesson had been tampered with. Tampered by the addiction of a suffragette designed by Dewsbury Sleep Sunburn by those who consumed it. A sleeping drug? Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with the sleeping drug and so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruhodo, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. That's a far-fetched idea. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a sophisticated drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a co-conspirator. What? Mr. Sholmes! Well, Seaman? I'm sorry to say that any more deception on the matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have been an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, would be hauled over the coils for aiding and abetting a renegade. Please, no more. I will tell everything. Eh? I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes, so when I decided to run away, I asked him to help me. We all agreed to help, everyone together. She threw away everything, the frame and the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on the lump that's something strange and bitter at one point. Da, we could not make our drug. How do you say? Dissolve. Ugh, talk about heavy seasoning. At midnight, at waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrades on shore with small fishing boats. Well, all the passengers of the SS Bria slept soundly, thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-induced potion and their evening meals that contained. So if that's what happened, the only person awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlovia. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have been unlocked in that case and there would have been complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. What? Ah, of course! Just like us, all the other passengers would have been eating their evening meals of chicken in their cabins. After which they'd have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Why, and accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes! The overwhelming majority of passengers would happily sleep in their cabin doors bolted anyway, and not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt in a single cabin door in the ship, Cooper brought an entire vessel to emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. have talked a long time and said many things. What is point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present at the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor on the attempt of incriminating another. Someone who tried desperately to hide a broken fragment of glass who would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock the door. All told, a busy night.
But... I don't know any of this. I'm just a little girl.
You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors don't listen to long boring stories. We do believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. A logical trait. What? I am quite the same disposition, my good man. Observation is me is everything. Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, yes?
Do you hear it? The accusory cry of guilt on the wind?
What accusory cry of guilt?
Sorry? You lost me. Proof of involvement, man. If you can't hear such a call with your ears, no. You must hear with your eyes, for observation of the basics of all deduction. What are you talking about? I believe the time has come for one final logic and reasoning spectacular, to expose the truth. So, Mr. Naruhodo, your assistance, if you please. With what exactly, Mr. Sholmes? With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said, of those two perpetrators. Observation?
If you remember, Mr. Naruhodo, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Sogi's death.
But we're looking for some trace of evidence that one of the two were there when it happened. Precisely. You're delicately quick to grasp my meaning. Alright, see what I can see. So we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there last night when Kazuma died.
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff. You seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of the white uniform there. Eh? Oh, yes. I don't know where that dirt came from. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain? What are you trying to say? It would appear that the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. It's a very large purple stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform. And I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. So, Mr. Naruhodo, present the evidence that proves it. My pleasure. Alright then, the evidence that proves that the stain on the back of Seaman Stroganoff's uniform really is.
Yes!
Yes, it's his photograph and the ink that shows. That's what's called the stain on the uniform. Ink? A rather unusual color of ink. Purple. Ugh! Ah, the penny drops. At last. Now you see the significance? The Russian word of four next to the victim's body is written in purple ink. And the stain on the back of the uniform is ink of exactly the same color. If the ink had been dry, it would possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means you must have been present at the cavern in the moment immediately after the ink was spilt. Alright, yes, it was me. I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in that student cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed button to make Bronya do emergency stop and bolt the cabin door shut. I did everything so no one could suspect our angel.
If, please.
Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty, but totally passed away. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet.
Beef, please, you must help me.
I went with her. The door to cabin number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw student boy on floor. What happened here?
Please, don't tell anyone. My little one, my little fatty friend.
Everything that happened in the cabin is like Angel told you. The kid had escaped through the ventilator in Mr. Asogi's cabin, and then he tripped over and broke his neck when he fell on the floor? Yes, that is right. So after the incident when the cat ran away, Miss Pavlovia then into the cabin next to hers? Only to find occupant lifeless on the floor. She said she was worried when she heard someone falling on the floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked, so she opened to look, and you already know what happened after.
There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind.
What?
When you went to Mr. Asogi's cabin, Miss Pavlovia, was he already dead? Why?
I already told you. When Nina opened the student cabin and looked inside,
I was asking Miss Pavlovia.
well, Miss Pavlovia?
Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark. He was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you.
So is that finally it now? Have we discovered the real truth about Kazuma's death at last? Ah, something very nearly slipped my mind. Oh, Mr. Sholmes? This photograph. Yes, I took it myself, you know. The cause of death was a broken neck, therefore the victim died instantly. In the unfortunate incident that perpetrated these events, a kitten in which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there is one particular area in this photograph that seems to me somewhat unnatural. What do you mean unnatural? What are your thoughts on the matter, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, well,
Kazuma tripped and fell and by some terrible stroke of luck broke his neck. Which part of this photograph print seems unnatural?
Yes!
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then his fist doesn't quite seem right. The exact same thought occurred to me. In the fall, one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim in his left hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say, as though he was grasping something. What did you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. You did? And what, pray, do you imagine I found these, my dear fellow?
show us, please.
Why, of course, my dear madam. Will I keep you in suspense? This is what I found.
Oh, a crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle?
Yes, you're right. A crescent moon. It's very pretty, but what does it tell us? It tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar somehow. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. Observation, Mr. Naruhodo. That is the key. What? The truth is now tensely close. How did that crescent moon come to be in Kazuma's clenched fist? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What significance has it? And observe, find the answer with your own eyes.
Yes!
Miss Paulovia, I noticed that on your ear, even though you have a metal earring, the decorated part seems to be missing. The little link shows that it must have been broken, I suppose.
What?
But looking at your other ear, I noticed a crescent moon.
Oh! I don't believe it!
No, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there is one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Netherherdo? Yes. Miss Paulovia, Mr. Soge must have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear, perhaps just moments before he fell on the floor. In other words, last night in Mr. Soge's cabin, you witnessed the moment when the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. And then the question is, why did Mr. Soge do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist during the final moment? Oh no. Angel. No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Paulovia, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, a fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb into this huge ship. And then, when I was at the last of this cabin and I could relax after this horrible long day. Darka, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared to the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing would. Darka would not come back. What are you doing here this time of night, Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine's. A young man from your country. He was very polite and kind. He helped me to find Darka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again and I was going to leave the man's cabin. Just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Of course. You're Nikolina Pavlovia, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from the land of the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet makes a deep impression on me. But, what are you doing on the ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. I can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and I hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no choice. I see. So you ran away. Please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. He's going to pull the cord. I'm going to tell the captain. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened. Everything at once. It was only a second, but I felt like forever. Wait! I shouted, and then Tarka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And as he turned around to look at me, I pushed him. I don't even know why. I don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. And I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. And that's when you went to fetch help from seaman strong enough who was on duty out of the passageway? I heard Anita cry out and thud on the floor, so I ran to her. She was standing at the cabin door shaking like a leaf. She looked at me and said, "Cut me beef. If they found out I would be, please, I have nowhere to go." So you decided to help, and that's when you arranged things from Cosmo's cabin to make it look like I did it, so that no one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door? Yes. I went into cabin as I looked around to make sure there's no one to show Nina was there. And then I found Stowaway in wardrobe, still sleeping. Right, that's when you found me. You worked out a plan. Laid the blame on the Stowaway. I closed wardrobe drawers and put back strange paper side. Luckily for me, that's the only reason Susato-san started to believe me when I said I was innocent. I dragged Youngman's body in a good place and used ink that was spilling out right in the floor. I wrote that so the person who found her would look like wardrobe and found Stowaway. And tell me, what are the glass bell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabin, I didn't notice the other half. Then Ito ran back to her cabin and I finished job. By pressing the emergency alarm button in the passageway? Yes. Accordingly, the SS Bruner did indeed come to an emergency halt at a little after 2 p.m., thus entering and tightening the bolt in the cabin door to slide shut, creating a locked room mystery. There's still one thing I don't understand, Miss Palovia. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you ran away from your homeland, and it's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Yes. But even if you had pulled that bell cord and called for the captain on the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? What would that have been the problem? It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first? What are you doing in the time of Nav Inspector? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. He said an inspector was his friend. Oh, yes, meaning me. Who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought that the police knew about me, they would arrest me. So before he could pull the bell cord, May I stop you for a moment, please, Miss Palovia? It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Asogi really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. What? What do you think, Mr. Narahara? Well, I'm not Cosmo, so I can't know for certain, but he was a man of his word. If he told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. Well, Mr. Narahara, the day's work is not yet done, it seems. There's one deduction to make. What? Another deduction? Yes, what action was the victim really about to take on the moment? Can we determine whether this young man's gaze was directed? First, consider the victim's location within the cabin. That's easy, I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in that wardrobe, but still. That cabin has been in my home the entire voyage. But this is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Paloma visited Kazuma-sama? Yes, that's exactly how it was. Are you ready then, Mr. Naruto? Yes! If there's one thing I learned today, is that a simple gaze can reveal all matters of truth. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out a little bit when you're following the gaze where it lands. So when he turned into Mr. Pavlovia, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? His bed. I remember him being annoyed by the pillow. He said it was too thin. Didn't he pull that big, thick ball of Japanese bond underneath him back? Perhaps he was thinking of looking something up. Either that or talking to Miss Pavlovia would make him act pretty tired.
Take that!
Considering everything that had happened last night, certainly I may have been looked as though Kazuma was going to ring the bell cord. Yes, however. What was directly beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. The wardrobe? More importantly, what was inside that wardrobe? The man's great friend, sleeping soundly. Ah! Miss Palovia, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asogi's exact words last night? Give me a moment, I could use another opinion here. Another opinion? Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No, Mr. Asogi intends to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if between them they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. Oh no! Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. Too late for that. But I wish you had made sure to what Mr. Asogi was looking at. Things may have been ended very differently, if you had. Miss Palovia, I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did. And that will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. I'm sorry. Really. I'm so sorry. What have I done? And so, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident of the SS Bruya was finally laid to rest. What will happen to Miss Palovia now then? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? Won't the Russians try to replicate her? Apparently, the English detective can speak to the immigration office and sort it all out. Mr. Storms can do that? So she won't be going back to Russia then? No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she'll be able to. She ran away and now she's in exile for life. I see. I'm sorry. Is the man strong enough? I want to help Angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you, about how you lost good friend. I will go with Nina. I will give myself to British police.
That's kind of you.
In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Kazuma's death feels like such a waste, but... Well, do what you can for Miss Palovia, won't you? Da. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me, I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your package back to Japan. Yes. I did stow away after all. I couldn't really expect any difference. So you should get back to your cabin now. It looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it even begun then. You think not only days ago Kazuma and I were laughing together how we tear up the streets of London. It seems like a distant memory now. Oh, what's that? Is it someone weeping? Susato-san? Naruhodo-san, I didn't know you returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. Inspector Hosanaga just told me I should pack, you know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. I still can't believe this has happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over just like that. Susato-san. You have such great ideas for this visit to Great Britain. Many dreams, and now they've been crucially taken away, just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. Now we know the truth, that it was just an accident. Just a silly series of mishaps. It's too much, Naruhodo-san. It's just too much. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Factor. My duty was to see Asogi's son safely to Great Britain, but it failed, and caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I let everyone down, and I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. Nobody blames you, Spectre. And I'm free again now, at least. Huh? Surprise, Mr. Naruhodo! What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head I think I should always picture you as wearing those shackles. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sorry? As I decided to restore them, for old time's sake, shall we say. You are a stowaway after all. He thinks this is funny? Mr. Sholmes, we do appreciate your assistance. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. And though it's a little late, may I offer my sincerest condolences? The loss of your companion is truly heart-rending. I hope you were able to fulfill some of the aspirations in his honor. I'm afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking in the next port in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything that happened. What? Wait a minute. It's just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. It was to be one lawyer and one assistant. Was to be? In the light of Mr. Asoki's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no, I don't care for me, but... Poor Susato-san. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely?
But there is no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know no other lawyer.
Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be a little value of Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, voyage to London is still promised a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I must say, to find yourself another suitable lawyer.
Yes.
Miss Susato? Yes? Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? Ah! You're not a lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? No, I'm not, but... I'm sorry. In that case, I don't think there's even a chance that could work. But as I said, there's still more than a month before we reach England's shores. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, we have a month in which to study to learn what I must have become a lawyer in Great Britain. Mr. Naruhodo, that's ridiculous. Are you suggesting anybody could learn all that stuff in just 40 days? There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector, every single day. Will you let me try? And if, by the time we reach Great Britain, I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? Kazuma. He said that there was something he had to do with Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. I can't let that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it is for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. I have to. What do you say, Miss Susato?
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Thank you. So, what does our Speckled Inspector friend say? Are you serious? One lawyer and one assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness. It's fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating? Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all harbor. Give us interest. Give us fashion. Speak for yourself. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character. No. And you witnessed ample evidence of this man's insubordinate character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of the morning until this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of the close companion and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. Very well. I think of a clever way to award my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector, after all, I did make a promise, didn't I? I said that I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here.
Oh, thank you, Inspector.
If you'll excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make my report.
Are you really prepared to attempt this, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes, I'm going to try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer?
I would be delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all.
Thank you.
And, Mr. Naruhodo? I'd like you to take charge of this.
What? Me? Are you sure?
I'm sure it's what Kazuma-sama would have wanted.
Its name is Karuma. It's a great sword that's been in the Soviet clan for generations. Very well. I accept. I'll treasure it, always. So then, Miss Susato, it seems we'll be working together for some time to come yet. It will be an honor, Mr. Naruhodo. And for the next 40 days, I shall grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I needed. But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you too. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. 3 times. What? I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma-sama's close friend. Of course you could never have done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. No matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. No, you were in shock. You just found out about me stowing away and the cabin door was locked on the inside. No! I won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I should never have thrown you. Not just once, but 5 times. The number keeps creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just get hold of me and throw me. Do it! Don't even think about it. No, I don't even know how. I never throw anyone in my life. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. Isn't a skill once acquired without considerable training? Oh, Mr. Shones! I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confess, I was most impressed. When did he see that? I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling? Oh, well, in a way, it's not wrestling. It's my own interpretation of an ancient jujitsu technique. Apparently, it's called the Susato takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How are we going? I am a pioneer of the combat arts myself. I am some accomplished boxer. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'll use the kind of instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw? Yes, I'll be honored. Then let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madam. Oh, of course. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? Hiya! As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Oh yes, arresting indeed, and that's where you turn the Susato takedown, isn't it? Actually, no, that was a Susato squash. In my groggy state of consciousness, a scene from the evening recently spent with Kazuma flickered into my mind. Karuma. That's right. It's my prized sword that has passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking a katana to the study tour is more than a little irregular, surely? The Japanese man's sword is the soul of Ryunosuke. I can't be parted with from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels us really to slice evil in two? Not that you would sense compelling on the subject. There is something very important that I have to do in Great Britain, and I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. That important thing he had to do. I still don't know what that was. And I'm going to see that place for myself and work it out. In Great Britain's capital, London. Alright, and we have completed the case. Yep. The Adventures of Unbreakable Speckled Man is done. But that's gonna be it. The next stream will be tackled episode 3, The Adventure of the Runaway Room. But for now, we're ending the stream. That's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.